just looks like it's going to be a weird battle all over the place, but let's get right on into it. So, tanks, and the opponent is rocking the Murkrow. I love seeing Murkrow when it comes to those single battles. It can really tear stuff up, but it does really need some kind of, like, stealth rocks or just entry hazard support, so that way it's, like, forcing opponents out and doing cool things. But Porygon 2, it knows what Meowstic wants, and that is going to be Thunder Wave, Swagger, some kind of silliness, so the magic code is actually going to just work. Well, I'll be, so that's just going to be that. Now, the problem is, like, do you keep up the magic coat? Do you let the opponent go for it? Like, at least you are going to get that paralysis down onto the Meowstic, and Porygon 2 is actually carrying a Shadow Ball. That's fairly impressive. Like, you don't see that all the time, but it is something nice right there. So, a bit more of an offensive mixed bolt kind of Porygon 2, and that's what? Okay. So, ring target being tricked. I'm like, what is Meowstic going to trick? Is kind of the question here. So, that was actually that was very unfortunate right there. So, the paralysis made to where Shadow Ball wouldn't go off, but Shadow Ball goes off in this case, and Meowstic goes down. And the only thing I can think of when it comes to ring target is actually like playing it if you're doing a setup Pokemon like Clefable. What if Clefable's only move is something like Stored Power? So that means it's a Cosmic Power, Stored Power Clefable. And the idea is if they have any Dark type Pokemon, you trick the ring target onto them, and then that means you can hit their one Pokemon that you can't normally hit. So that actually helps such a powerful setup, because normally when you have like 3 support or 3 status moves and 1 offensive move, it puts you in some kind of power trough. With Snorlax, you have to use Crunch instead of Body Slam, so you don't get your stab move that can paralyze the target, which is very unfortunate. So this could actually work in those situations. You ring target onto a Ghost type Pokemon, you ring target onto a Dark, something that's going to immune you. Pokemon, does that work with Toxic? Like, I wonder if it's just offensive moves or anything like that is what ring target is good for. So Whirlwind brings out the Heracross. Heracross doesn't want it. Porygon 2 comes in. That's actually going to be a Brave Bird from the Murkrow. That's kind of weird right there. Is there a surprising amount of damage? Oh my goodness, there's a surprising amount of damage. Okay. So Whirlwind Brave Bird Murkrow. That's not something. Life Orb. That is absolutely not what I expected. Is this Murkrow really going to do this? Okay, everything I know about Murkrow has been challenged. What? Okay, that's very surprising. But I guess, like, you prankster into sudden offense. What you gonna do? And in comes the Heracross. Heracross is going to do its thing. We're going to see Murkrow with that Protect right now. And the Stone Edge is really going to be bad for the Murkrow. Murkrow doesn't really have much else it can do. Doesn't look like it goes for the prankster. Doesn't going to get the outspeed on the Heracross. And looks like Scarf Heracross, if it is going to be that way. I thought Heracross might have been slower. But we are going to go into the Clefable now. So it's just the Clefable from the opponent. And that's like the good thing. Like, the opponent's like, okay, my win condition is setting up an infinity amounts of Cosmic Power on the Clefable. If there is only one Pokemon on the field, you can't use Skarmory to Whirlwind out the only Clefable. So now it's Skarmory's Iron Head versus that Clefable. And after that Cosmic Power gaining defenses, it's going to be brutal. So it's a flinch crit war. It's going to be down to that. And Skarmory's faster. So that's going to make that kind of ridiculous. So we're going to see the Moonlight from Clefable. If it doesn't get flinched, then it gets like 2 Cosmic Power Moonlight, 2 Cosmic Power Moonlight. And it's going to come through like that. Now, what's the item on this Clefable? I'm not seeing leftovers, am I right? Like, I didn't see any leftovers at the end of the turn. There was like no knockoff or shenanigans. So interesting on the item, but +2 on that, and we're going into another Iron Head. So as you can see, like, Skarmory isn't known for insane amounts of damage. It can come through when it needs to, but this is not the Swords Dance Skarmory, and it's just Moonlight until that. Now, eventually, Moonlight's going to run out of PP. So it feels like the battle's pretty much done here. Like, actually, that early flinch really set the Clefable back. It's really impressive how much that happened. But will Skarmory run out of Iron Head first? Because it's like 2 Iron Heads to 1 Moonlight, and Iron Head's PP is what? 10 into 16? Maybe a little more. I don't know if it's also like the 15 into 24 or something. But depending on how many Cosmic Powers and Moonlights, this might actually stall out really interesting. It's like, yeah, the opponent just gave up 2 Pokemon because he didn't see the threat. He didn't see the ring target come through. It's like, all right, just get me into my Clefable. Get me into that win. So it's Cosmic Power, Moonlight. What else? Is there a real possibility that's recycle Lepa Berry? Does Clefable get the recycle and then it can also Lepa Berry out of it? Lepa Berry would be absolutely cool because it means he's never going to run out of like Moonlight or any kind of PP, which means you don't get PP stalled. And I haven't considered the Lepa Berry for a very long time, but in these situations, it seems like it could work. Ironhead's not doing anything right now, and that's going to be the Moonblast. So yeah, like, normally you want Clefable to carry that Moonblast, but if it is in one of those weird situations where it gets this set up and it doesn't have to worry about Dark types, can it realistically run that? I'm very curious as to seeing that. Skarmory with the Ironhead, the only thing that can happen right now is a crit. And I don't think a crit's going to win. A crit needs to happen at a weird amount of hit points, and I believe Ironhead is at the 22. Let me go and look that up really quick. Ironhead Pokemon. Boom. It's one of those, and I think we're going to be here for a while. So Ironhead, yeah, it's a 15, max 24. So it will be there, which means we might actually see this happen, or Skarmory just gets that crit. Metronome. Oh, that spices things up. All right. So Needlearm with that Metronome. Yeah, it's like you're better off. Wait, back it up. I just realized something. That's the Moonblast, not the stored power. But then why are you running the Ring Target? Because Ring Target, I'm 90% sure at this point that Ring Target makes it to where like immune moves will actually land. Cerebi item, Ring Target. Last Pokemon receive damage from regardless of type immunities. Okay. This is weird. So that's going to be some special attack gains. Special defense won't go any higher. And the speed raises, so nice little Metronome right there. You could use that damage. So this is one Troll Clefable. This got... Oh, and the substitute. That's going to set Skarmory back even more. And Skarmory, Stealth Rocks doesn't do anything. There's a Metronome right there. Wow, it's going to use Dig. But Dig isn't going to do anything. I have no idea what this battle is anymore, or even who's even, like, is Skarmory just going to clutch out the Ironhead, or is Clefable actually going to get something done here? And there's no way Skarmory's out of Ironhead already. But at that point, you just have to forfeit, right? So it's a Razor Wind, whips up a Whirlwind. Is he just like, is Skarmory just waiting for an explosion? Like, what if you Metronome the explosion? Like, that could happen and be very bad. Well, wait, does the explosion fail or does it auto-lose you if you use it on last turn? I don't remember. They might have changed it because I thought something screwy happened. Like, what is Skarmory waiting for? Like, is it out? Is it PP stall now? But Clefable still has more. Like, Cosmic Power is pretty healthy. Still has a couple of Moonlights. Metronome's pretty solid. There's a yawn onto Skarmory right now. So, like, what do? Do you switch out, you go into Heracross, and then you, like... do things? Oh, that's unfortunate. I think this battle's going to end through timer, and I think Clefable like would have won. So yeah, that's why you don't go into Heracross. You go into Heracross, you lose the battle. So unless Clefable rolls into like a Fire Blast or something, Fire Blast the Skarmory with that +1 special attack that it randomly had at some point. I don't want to see this battle end in timer, honestly. Oh, and that's right, the yawn putting Skarmory down, so it could get silly here. It could really get silly, like an overheat. Would that actually just take out the Skarmory, depending on what it is? Is there any special defense in here? There's a lock-on. So lock-on Sure Cold from the Metronome. Are we going to get it, people? I don't think it's going to happen that way, but eventually he's going to run out of Metronomes. And I don't even remember if we saw the item at any point. This battle is a bit heartbreaking if it plays out how I think it's going to play out. Happy Hour, rolling one of the most unknown moves in the game. Well, if he happens to win, he's going to get more money. But everyone's in a happy mood right now. Happy atmosphere. Rain and money. I guess drinks are served at half off, and $2 off if you get an appetizer. Screw it, let's make it $5 appetizers. This is my bar right now. And we're going to see what Clefable wants to do. On top of that, Stealth Rock. You got it, Clefable. But Skarmory, realistically can't do anything to this Clefable now. And is it going to end in a fantastic... Like, yeah, I guess he's playing for timer. Because else you go into the Heracross. You eat a Moonblast, though, which could be pretty bad. But then you also kind of, like, hope a Stone Edge will break the... Well, it won't, actually. Yeah, there's nothing you can do because he has so many Cosmic Power. Heracross doesn't really have those damage options to break that sub. Like, metronoming the sub is absolutely crazy. So, the weirdest battle mechanics can happen in Pokemon because what you needed to do was lose your 2 Pokemon so Clefable can come in, and then Clefable won't be able to get Whirlwinded out. However, by doing so, you don't get to do anything, but it's a Cosmic Power without stored power and no Flamethrower, and Metronome instead, and because it's carrying the Moonblast and it can't deal with the Skarmory, this is why I carry the Flamethrower for those Steel-type Pokemon that just can't kill you because Clefable's so tanky. I was going to see how long I could string that sentence together, but, Vital Throw. Vital Throw is a something. Okay, it's just a... I was like, no, it's what it wants to Circle Throw because it can Circle Throw and then make things happen, but then you're just switching to Skarmory. Is it really going to be Timer? Because it's on the battle spot, so it's not going to last forever. Clefable's got that U-turn, but he's got nowhere to go. Eventually, he's going to run out of the Metronomes, and then sad things happen. Skarmory's got the Whirlwind, not doing anything. Skarmory has just sat here and done nothing. And I'm waiting for that Overheat. I want to see, like, Metronome the Nasty Plot, Metronome the Overheat, and just win. Things could get weird right now. I mean, we're getting... Oh, there's the fire! No way! We get the Fire Blast, but Skarmory avoids it. That has to be heartbreaking for the Clefable. I'm rooting for the Clefable for coming through with his weirdness. All right, so I think that was... If that was his last Metronome getting the Fire Blast, I cannot believe it right there. Because, yeah, that Moonblast... Okay, that was a critical hit. Never mind. This was more damage than we should expect. But overall, still a modest hit right there. Resisted, but stabbed. I don't know. I feel like the Fire Blast wouldn't even get it. Yeah, and it looks like he's out of Metronomes. His Hail Mary play not being enough. And I guess the timer's run low, which is why he's going for those Moonblasts or something. And Skarmory can just roost all back. So, yeah, like if you hit the Moonblast into something silly like that, what really happens right now? Oh, battle's over. It's so upsetting. It's a really weird battle, and I don't want to see the timer. And I know it's like Fan Fridays. That Clefable was crazy, and like sometimes we root for the opponents for doing some really shenanigans stuff. I don't even know. I guess I'm gonna. That was a lot. Like that was a lot of recording. Honestly, when it comes to Fan Fridays, I go through like 20 or something recordings. So like 5 minutes times 20 plus editing. Like I could be here for like 5-6 hours just doing Fan Fridays. And sometimes even more. So it's like I wanna take this video out of laziness because I feel like it was good, but like morally I just hate the timer. I don't support it so much because like that could have gotten weird. I feel like in the perfect deserving world, Clefable won that battle. It had a better condition, but the Fire Blast missing. But it didn't have the damage because it brought the wrong moveset. One of the most conflicting battles of all time, and I guess for that it'll make it on Fan Fridays.